What you're about to watch is a true story from America's past, followed by some life lessons from that story, followed by some questions that only you can answer. Well, this is going to be a fun exercise. To start the video are the takeaways that you're going to get from watching. How did she become the first American Indian in the history of the United States and the First Nations to become a medical doctor, and at the age of 24? In the year 1873, in the heart of the Omaha Indian Reservation, an 8-year-old girl named Susan LaFlesche had a life-altering experience. She witnessed the tragic death of an elderly woman because the local doctor refused to treat people on an Indian reservation. This tragedy ignited a determination that would change her life forever. Her father, a respected Indian chief of French and Indian descent, was her guiding light. He believed that education and adapting to the ways of the white man were the keys to his daughter's success. It's why he would not allow a traditional Indian tattoo on her forehead and would not give her an Indian name. Ahead of his time, it was clear that he was thinking outside the box. It was only fitting because the word Omaha translates going against the current. At the age of 14, she and her older sister boarded a train and traveled over 1,300 miles to attend the Elizabeth School for Young Ladies in New Jersey. Virtually alone, homesick, and out of her element, New Jersey might as well have been a foreign country. To say the least, she was outside of her comfort zone. The clash of cultures and norms of 19th century America made it incredibly difficult for an Indian woman to pursue her dreams. Traditional medical schools did not admit women of any ethnic group, and people of color had limited opportunities to attain a bachelor's degree. But Susan's resilience was unwavering. She remembered,
"I grew up in the midst of sickness, suffering, and death. I could not shut my eyes to it."
Susan could speak English, French, and 2 Indian languages, which would have been assets, but they did not shield her from discrimination. She started to overcome the barriers of prejudice and racism when she attended the Hampton Institute, a black college in Virginia, where she graduated second in her class. Determined to become a doctor, she made her way to the Women's Medical College of Pennsylvania. At the age of 24, she graduated first in her class, becoming the first American Indian in American history to earn a medical degree. Susan's first patient was an 8-year-old boy. After giving him medicine and doubting her own medical judgment, the next morning she rode her horse over 10 miles to check on him, found him swimming in a local creek, and decided that her remedy had worked. Then what happened?
This rapid recovery won for me no end in fame from the Indians. They fairly flocked to me after that.
With her medical practice on the Omaha Reservation in Nebraska, Susan faced skepticism and resistance from various quarters of society. Perhaps it was her common sense they questioned. She advocated for screen doors to keep out flies that carry disease. She discouraged the sharing of drinking cups and went so far as to recommend daily exercise, basic cleanliness, and eating good food.
I believe in prevention of disease and hygiene care more than I do in giving or prescribing medicine, and my constant aim is to teach these 2 things: plenty of fresh air and sunshine. That is nature's medicine.
she remained steadfast in her mission.
My sole ambition is to do all in my power to give my people better health conditions, to promote the welfare and happiness of the Omaha Indian.
In an area covering 1,350 square miles, Susan cared for over 1,200 patients in the Omaha and Winnebago tribes. Recognizing the systemic issues plaguing communities of the First Nations, Dr. Susan LaFlesche Picotte became an advocate for their rights and for healthcare reform. Plus, she taught Sunday school, gave sermons, conducted funerals, started a library for children, translated legal documents, started a quilting group for tribal women, and even performed accounting tasks. You could say she was a jack of many trades, but a master of only one, being a doctor. Despite her own health problems of chronic back and neck pain, not to mention the internal injuries she suffered from falling off a horse, Susan's relentless determination prevailed. She raised funds and built the first privately funded hospital on an Indian reservation in 1913. Her own life was not without tragedy. When her husband died of tuberculosis that was fueled by his addiction to alcohol. In her diary, she documented countless days of getting up at 5 a.m. on cold January mornings, riding through snowstorms to reach patients miles away. She would return home after 10 p.m., barely taking time to eat or rest, and she'd do it all over again the following day. Her dedication made her popular with her people, and she would place a lantern in her window each night to signal that she was always available, no matter the hour, in spite of lifelong health problems and eventually becoming deaf. She worked tirelessly until her death from bone cancer in 1915. This statue in Lincoln, Nebraska, honors its most famous doctor for her courage to go outside her comfort zone to fight with common sense for her dream and for causes she believed in. These words best define her.
I shall always fight good and hard, even if I have to fight alone.
Master a skill. Mastering one skill, which ought to be what you love to do, sets you apart as an expert, making you stand out among others. It boosts your confidence significantly, knowing you can excel in that particular area. And it opens doors to unique opportunities that might not be available. For example, in a culture of low expectations, mastering the English language is how you get noticed, admired, and rewarded. And just like Susan LaFlesche, you can be a master of one skill and witness lifelong positive results. Use common sense. Using common sense is about applying basic, practical reasoning to daily situations. Trust your instincts, think logically, and consider the most sensible course of action. It's like having a built-in guide for making wise decisions, a simple and accessible tool you already possess. Get out of your comfort zone. Going outside of your comfort zone is like a gym for your personal growth. It helps you learn new things, gain confidence, and develop valuable life skills. By pushing your boundaries and trying new experiences, you'll become more adaptable and open-minded, which can lead to greater opportunities and a richer, more fulfilling life. So embrace the discomfort, as Susan LaFlesche did, because it's where you'll find your greatest potential for growth. Put another way, go out on a limb, because that's where the fruit is. Use determination to defeat discrimination. Dwelling on being a victim depresses your attitude, drains your energy, and prevents your personal growth. Instead, turn discrimination into determination to achieve a goal, such as mastering one competency. Use any injustice you face to fuel your inner drive for success. Let every insult, slur, or indignity be reminders of your goals. Your resilience in the face of discrimination will keep you, as it did for Dr. Susan, on the road to your success and inspire others to avoid the failures of victimhood.